Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another video on our Range Rover Mark 1 Classic Range Rover V8. Yeah, we've got another video on this, another maintenance video. We're doing lots of maintenance because the car is up for sale. Kind of reluctantly, we just haven't used it and we're not using it so much anymore. So been keeping it running and it's running or been running really nicely. But to be fair, it's been desperately in need of maintenance, more so because it's been sitting for so long. And I would advise anyone, if you ever have a car in dry storage, even if it's in dry storage in general, it's just a bit of dust that you end up getting on the car. If it's dry stored and it's been sitting around doing anything, you're going to have little problems or things are going to look pretty ugly in terms of the oils and stuff like that. So maintenance is key, and running the car quite a bit and maybe on the road ideally as well is key. But anyway, we're doing, you would have seen from our other videos, we're doing loads of different things. Now we've checked a few things like ignition, loads of different bits and bobs, and done all the normal service and maintenance parts. But you'll see from the title, today we are doing a fuel system upgrade as such, or a fuel pump replacement. So overdue, very old system. It feels to me as though we've had some fueling issues. And I've been going through a few systematic checks with the help of a friend who's a really good guy on these Range Rover V8 V8s and Range Rovers in general, these classic Range Rover V8s. Plug to him, actually, I'll put in the bio for you if you want some advice about these. They're the kind of people that you probably should go to. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to get on. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be replacing a fuel pump on this car. This is a 3.5 1989 EFI motor. I think one of the early 3.5 or the late 3.5s actually. I'll correct myself in the bio if I'm wrong. I forget, I've got too many cars and I forget some stats, but it's a 3.5. I think it's a latter version and they got phased out for, I believe, a 3.8 or a 3.9. But the pump on this is specific to this, and I ended up buying this pump from my friend, and it's an aftermarket part. It's like a uni part, perfectly fine. Obviously, I think the Pierberg version that they list for this car on a lot of other websites is about £700. If you're in the States, $1,200, $1,100. It's insane. I am not putting, or I'm not going to be spending that money on a pump. So unfortunately, I'm going to go with the uni part, which is proven to be an absolutely fine and really good. There's a whole hanger and assembly with new sock, the whole assembly essentially, which is really good. So lots of things get replaced: the key hoses, the wiring and things like that, the hanger, the sender, the sock, and the pump itself obviously is all replaced, which is great, and that's what we need to eliminate all of those problems. So it's good that it comes with everything essentially, not just the pump. So I'll give you the link to the part in the description in the bio now. But let's get on with this because it shouldn't take too long, but we need to locate it and we need to get it out, and I don't want to be here all day, so let me get on with the video and show you how. So yeah, the first things first, obviously the key thing and the first thing is to locate where the pump is. I'm told, but I don't know yet until I have a little check myself, that they're either sometimes underneath the back of the seats, which will be a bit more of a ball ache because I've got to get this cage out and then push it forward, but we'll see. And I haven't really worked on this car that much, to be honest with you, so I don't know. I'm not a fay with everything, where everything is, but I'm looking now to be able to tell you guys. But I believe it's underneath this carpet, if not under the seats. But yeah, let me delve in and start taking some bits out so I can show you. So first and foremost, it's you've got to get the carpet out. So just thread the carpet off of the buckles, and then I'll show you now. And then we're going to need to get these buckles, belt buckles, back belt buckles, off the car. If you don't know how to pull those seats forward, there's just two little push clips, basically. I'll show you. They are, can you see those that round push thing in the corner? There's one there, and there's one on that side as well. You push it in, and then they lift up really easy, actually. Okay, so that's that part done. So yeah, we just need to get them buckles out. You then need to get yourself a wrench, 18 mil. Take those two different buckles out. God, this mat weighs an absolute ton. Oh, this matting is insane. It weighs so much. Whew. Oh, you'd have a faster car if you got rid of that, I'll tell you that much. Spare wheel. Probably easier to take that off actually. Doesn't matter too much, but we'll take that off as well. It's just covering the spare wheel. Now we need to get this extra flooring out as well. Right, so yeah, now the real fun part. I've got to a point where I've stripped it all out. Some of these different Range Rover Classic V8s have a maintenance panel, fuel pump maintenance panel. So you can remove a maintenance panel and you can get to the pump. This model does not have a maintenance hatch. So it means that basically there is a relatively, it's like a metal kind of thin, probably metal, maybe mild steel painted perhaps, I think, or aluminium, I don't know, but I think it's a mild steel panel, hard panel. And basically the only way you're going to get to that pump is either drilling off all of the rivets around the outside of the unit, or what I see from most people is a cut angle grind, a hatch essentially, and a hatch for it, a maintenance hatch for it. Keep the panel, place it over, and obviously the matting goes over it anyway. It's not going to go anywhere. But it's not ideal, but obviously it's shockingly bad design out of the factory from Land Rover. But there you go. Some older cars have some weird and wonderful things and designs that they don't even think of. I don't know how any manufacturer thinks that a fuel pump is going to last forever. It's obviously lasted a long time on this, never been cut out. So it's obviously probably, from my knowledge of a lot of cars, when they get old, fuel pumps do go. So, and obviously the sock in the fuel pump hanger is going to be disgusting as well, I suspect. So decided what I'm going to do. Now there's, in my opinion, probably one of two things you can do. Well, three things you can do. You can either drop the tank and pull the tank and do it that way. Dropping the tank under this is not an easy job. It's not an easy job for any, on any car, to be honest with you, and it's a bit of a faff just to get a pump out that way. The other one, all three ways, that being said, are a faff. The other way is that apparently you cut out a maintenance section in that metal panel. So you cut it out and you've got to work out roughly where it is. And there's guides, I think, somewhere online where you can find the distance and the measurement of where you need to cut out. But yeah, you can cut that out with an angle grinder. Got to be really, really careful. But obviously you're cutting part of a panel that doesn't look very nice. The other thing is you drill out the rivets. That is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to drill out every little pop rivet that's on that that whole length that runs the boot. I should be able to then lift it up and potentially pull it out. To then re-seal it, re-shut it, you just have to re-rivet it. And although it's not ideal, I haven't got a riveter with me. I have got access to one, and I can get one, or I can buy one for quite cheap. So I think that's the neatest, nicest way of doing it, personally. So I'm going to go that way. So yeah, bear with. I'm going to drill those out, see if it works, and I'll let you know and report back. Just to let you know as well, I did say the Unipart part number, I'll put in the link in the description. I'll show you the unit in a bit. All going well if I get this panel out okay. Watch on and find out how I get on. Right, so we've drilled every pop rivet out. We're going to now try and pull. We're going to have to. There's a sealant under it as well, so we're going to have to just use a bit of force with a flathead screwdriver. Just be nice and careful. And yeah, I'll see if I can get the sheet off, and all going well, I'll report back in a moment. We'll carry on with the video. Voila, there's the panel out. So obviously, as you can see, as you'd expect, lots of years of weathering. But yeah, there's essentially the chassis. Yeah, it's good actually. It's interesting because you can, we could kind of treat this from up here as well. And despite, I mean, some of these areas do get a lot of moisture on them, this chassis is really, really good. Might see some rust at the top section across there, but actually it's really easy to be cut and replaced if need be. So yeah, I'd probably give this a clean up another day and give it a bit of treatment. But chances are, if anyone takes this project on, they may well change some bits. But it's quite nice from this section. You can see the fuel filter, new fuel filter that we've changed. You know, again, someone who changes a lot of this may want to change some of the lines. There's the fuel pump and there's the top cell. We'll pull that and yeah, see what we need to do to get that pump out of there. So yeah, watch on and see what we can do. Yep, we've got the pump at where we need to get it at, and I've got now my trusty air compressor. I've pumped it up and I'm just gonna, I know it's so strong that it is taking a bit of the surface rust off, but it doesn't matter. Excuse me, I'll stop doing that. Yeah, you may get a bit of distortion. Okay, so yeah, what we did there was just literally blow everything away in and around that kind of area. Because yeah, it's obviously very dusty. There's loads of crap that comes up from the road and actually gets in that bit. It means that we can open that kind of fuel cell at the top in confidence, rest assured, and knowing that there'll be little to no grit basically getting in or dropping in that tank, which is obviously not what you want. So yeah, now going to pull the line from the top side on the inlet tube, the feed tube, and I'll take this electronic sender module off here as well. I think it's just like a little clip here, I think you take out, retaining clip. I'm going to give these screws are not looking too healthy as you'd expect this old. A little bit of WD-40 before we start wrenching them off or screwdrivering them off and unscrewing them. So we've literally just absolutely soaked the area, so round kind of essentially where the seal is. That'll just help that pick off and lift off. This will lift off some of the rust as well here. I'm going to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to dab dry with a towel, lint-free towel, and then attempt to take those screws off. Hopefully they don't chew up, and hopefully we can get it off nicely. Okay, just dried it up, and since doing that, it's made a little bit of the rust kind of come loose again. So I'm going to give it another little blow, so excuse the sound. Actually help dry the area as well. So yeah, we're ready to start to remove. What we've got to do with this clip, I think, is just, can't quite tell. Let's take this off this little retainer with a flathead screwdriver. Make sure you don't lose it. I suspect that actually stays on there, so I don't think it matters too much. So let's see. I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. It's actually surprisingly easy enough to get this off. Actually, this was the biggest bar steward. Yeah, I've obviously got the everything out, and the pump is just in here. So we'll kind of take it out, work it out. There you go. Let's have a look, see how this looks. Yeah, can you see that, guys? That is an old pump with a very, very old, disgusting effed fuel sock filter. So yeah, it needs replacing. Yeah, let's get it replaced. Let's get the new one in situ. Cover that up so we don't get any debris or anything going there. Let's unclip all electrics. If I haven't already told you, make sure you take or disconnect the battery before you do this. So I've got I said Unipart, I think it's a Brit part actually, fuel pump. And it's so far, upon looking, actually I probably should check before I rip it off. The pump body looks smaller, the filter sock looks smaller, but the retaining top hanger looks spot on. So, you know, things get revised. I think it looks spot on, or pretty much spot on to me. So yeah, I think we'll go with that. It does look good. So yeah, let's start pulling off. So if you may be able to see here, just to let you know, obviously where the top of that electrical part at the very top of the hanger goes, there's a wire and it follows the back of there and it goes across and down here, and this is where the sensor is. It may be buried under mud, so you won't see it, but basically just rehang the new one where it needs to go into and click it in and clip it into there. You won't need to disconnect any of this on the body, just because obviously it's a whole assembly that gets replaced thankfully on this part. Just a quick one, if I forget to put it in the bio, part number is there. There you go. Pause and snapshot that, do whatever you want to do. That's the part number, and it looks spot on. I think the only thing that looks smaller is the this unit inside. This don't know what it is. I think it is the pump module. But obviously these are come on leaps and bounds over the years. So you don't need I don't know, as much of a big motor, I suppose, on some of these now. So they're all internal on top of the pump, and they're very small these days, which is great. So essentially this all gets chucked away. You just basically unclip it from the harness at the top there, take it round and just take it off. Yeah, and that's it. And we can get rid then and get the new one on. So that is the end of the video, guys. Hope it helped you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.